We're here at the Anderson County Prairie Preserve in Anderson County, Kansas, and we're here looking at essentially investigating populations of Mead's milkweed. Hi, I'm Christy Edwards. I'm the Stephen and Camilla Brower Conservation Geneticist at the Missouri Botanical Garden. So Mead's milkweed is Asclepias meadii. It's a federally threatened species, meaning it's kind of near the brink of extinction. And most of the populations that are present these days are found in Missouri and Kansas. They're actually very pretty. So, when you look at the flowers, they're kind of this big puffball of flowers that are hanging upside down. And they actually smell really good too. But they're also just kind of, present in really nice prairies as well. So they're specialists to remnant prairies, so high quality remnant prairies. And so it kind of gets me out into these beautiful prairie habitats. Yeah, we spent like days here last year tagging all of these.
So my name's Jordan Hathaway. I work in Christy Edwards' lab. I just started at the garden about 4 months ago, and this is my first field season working on this Mead's milkweed project. At all of our sites, we are setting up camera traps, and we're training them on some of the flowering Mead's milkweed stems. We are at Mosier on May 29th, 2024. This is tag number 988, and it's currently 9:50 a.m. And the idea with the cameras is that we get an idea of how frequently they're being visited by pollinators, what types of pollinators are visiting them, and the behaviors that they're exhibiting when they do visit.
So we have some populations that are very large and have lots and lots of fruits that are produced. And we have some small populations and they produce 0 fruits, maybe 1. And the idea is that we have this large population that we're in here, and we're using it as a reference to compare all the other sites to.
And trying to tie that back into potential reasons why the reproductive success of this species is so low.
This is 2234.
2234.
Yes, sir.
Tallgrass prairie habitat occurred, throughout a lot of the central Midwestern United States. And now there's only, estimates are between 1% and 4% remaining. So it's a really threatened habitat. And that's actually the whole reason why Mead's milkweed is endangered, is because of habitat loss. So we have a total of 14 sites included in our study. And essentially what we're doing is we're looking at reproductive success and pollination biology, and looking at the relationship between those two. That's it, is I just need data. We need data to answer these questions, and so I'm just greedy about data.
We're also netting, we're forming transects and then netting pollinators around the area where the flowering milkweed stems are. A
transect is essentially just a way to essentially set up a grid that you sample within, and it's basically a way to subsample a population. So you're not essentially trying to sample the entire prairie, because obviously we just can't do that. These prairies are relatively large.
And that gives us an idea of sort of the total pollinator assemblage that is present at any given site, and then we can see if there's differences between the pollinators that are present in the area and the ones that are actually visiting the milkweed.
And then we're also doing what's called pollinaria removal. So in Mead's milkweed, the pollen are packaged into these sacs called pollinaria.
They don't have your kind of standard, powdery pollen grains. They have these large pollinaria that have to be removed and then deposited into another milkweed.
And we can look to see essentially the number of pollinaria that have been removed.
Which kind of gives an estimate of like the male reproductive fitness of the flowers. This one has 11. 5, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
Oh, okay.
What we're doing this year for the study will kind of give us an idea of whether or not the reproductive fitness of this species is being limited by, pollinator visitation rate, or the types of pollinators that are visiting, or if it might be something different, such as like a soil nutrient issue.
Next year, we'll be looking at whether pollen is limited, so maybe the pollinators aren't getting the pollen where it needs to go. And then in the future, I'd like to look at whether the timing of different individuals and populations is such that they can't possibly pollinate each other, as well as potentially maybe an additional study to look at why there's populations that have a lot of individuals that don't flower. So potentially there could be resource variation among the populations. And we'd also like to look at how management affects reproductive fitness in this species as well. Because that's kind of the ultimate goal, is to try to get this species kind of off the brink of extinction and into a situation where we have large, healthy populations. You know, we're really interested in working with landowners that have Mead's milkweed. So if you know you have Mead's milkweed on your land, we're happy to work with you. Well, I mean, if you own a prairie, don't till it. You know, and like really just public support for kind of the continued conservation and management of tallgrass prairie habitat is really important. You know, supporting in any place that has a tallgrass prairie is a really important step.